A few days ago, I was trying to migrate a Next.js app to React Router, and I found some weird things that kind of confused me with React and Next.js, and I wanted to investigate what was going on after I actually migrated the app, and what I discovered really shocked me. And let's talk about it, and I want to show it to you too as well. So I bootstrapped a fresh new Next.js project using their Create Next App CLI. And basically I just clicked enter, enter, enter until I got to the end. So this is what you get by default from Next. So this is the app router, and this is what you're running if you do the default setup. And check this out. So let's say you wanted to implement something in the app router and you wanted to use view transitions. So you've heard of view transitions and you've heard that React is working on them. So you're like, okay, let me try using view transitions. So if you do unstable view transition, you can import it from React and you can import it as view transition. And this is awesome. So you can use this now anywhere here. And for example, let's say I want to add it to my list item. What I can do is I can just pop in the component and then move the list item into there, and I'm using the view transition. And this is great. So I'm running on React 19.1, and now I'm not really sure what the props are for the view transitions, so I'm like, okay, let me go to React 19.1 and check it out. Now at this point you're in the React docs, you're searching for view transitions, and what is this? So it says it's an experimental feature, and it's only available in the experimental versions of React. And this is how you import it. So let's go back to the project again. So we're running React 19, but we have view transitions. How is that possible? Well, that's the part that shocked me. So what Next.js does is in the app router, they don't use whatever you use in your package.json as the React version. They ship the experimental version pre-bundled with Next. So if you're using the app router, you're using the experimental versions of React. And the Next.js team is responsible for picking those versions out for you, so you have no say in the matter. And this, to me, is rather shocking. And I've also learned that the page router actually uses the stable version from package.json. But what's fun about the two versions is if you're redirecting from app router to pages router or vice versa, it causes a bit of a full page reload because you're using different versions of React here. So it's a bit of a mess, and I couldn't believe that they never said this. And after going through their website, I found the blog post for the 15.1 release. And in this release, it says they're supporting the stable version of React 19 in both pages router and app router. So which one is it? Is it stable or not stable? And if you go down here to the actual section that talks about this, it says for the app router, we will continue to provide React Canary releases built in. These include all the stable React 19 changes, as well as the newer features being validated in frameworks prior to the new React release. So basically you are the guinea pig that's testing out the experimental features, and you don't even know about it. Well, I guess maybe some of you know, but I'm guessing the far majority of people do not know. And this is actually after the whole mess of their RSC support, where they asked you, the user, to pin your React to experimental versions and Canary releases, and they got a lot of hate for that. And I guess they decided just to lie to you, and that's the easier way moving forward, so you don't really have to explain to people why they're using the experimental release when in the package.json it says 19.1, but you're using 19.experimental. So I thought this was something that you should know, and how they do this is in their webpack config, they use the make app aliases here, and if you're using the experimental one, and I'm guessing this comes from the app router, they actually pin the React version to the compiled experimental version they ship with Next. And if you're wondering Why Next.js is like 16 megabytes to download. This is the reason, because they pre-compile and render a lot of third-party packages, and React is one of them. So if you're using Next, you're using whatever they tell you you're gonna use. You don't use whatever is in your package.json. So I thought this was something that you should know about when you're choosing your framework for your next project. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about this and if you actually knew about this, because the sentiment I got is that a lot of people just didn't know about this, and it's kind of behind a blog post that's on their website. So if you don't read their blog posts, you really don't know about it. You're just running your Next.js app without realizing you're running on experimental React. And they can say that it's stable and whatever, but if it was stable, it wouldn't be called experimental, it would be called 19.3. So yeah. If you found this interesting, share it with others. Let me know what you think again in the comments. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye!